Good morning. It is time for the Challenge of the Week announcement, the winner announcement of last week, and the new challenge prompt for this week. And here we go, broken record time, but I have to let you know, I pore over these challenges. I pore over them. I read them and I get stuck sometimes on 2 or 3. In this case, well, 10, literally 10 of them that I think could have won first place. The winner was ultimately left up to our 4 avid reading judges, but they chose the right one, I think. But I was so taken back by pieces from Mavia, from Chris Sadhill, from Led Levy, always. A new writer I've recently followed named Elise Potato is her username, and a beautiful poem with a Dr. Seuss reference, which, come on, hands down, one of the childhood greats, I think. And I don't know, but I'm always a sucker for Greek mythology, and that is part of the reason why I think the winner took the $25 home. So without further ado, let's jump into the challenge of the week last week, and let's look at number 231. Stick around. Okay, so challenge of the week number 231. Here we go. You're in an alley against a wall and you're in deep. You really let go of the wheel this time. Took a loan from a certain group of, well, shiny dark-haired gentlemen of the city streets. You change your looks, move to the east side of town to avoid them, but they have you now. By the wrist, modified cigar cutter ready, 2 of them smiling at you, while the third has your neck in the crease of his elbow. Your 4 fingers and thumb splayed above your wrist in grip. You have to answer the question, which one? If you don't pick now, we take 2. Write a poem or story about what put you in that alley, your pick of digit, and the experience, the aftermath of adaptation, if you want, the whole story, if the story goes that far for you. And don't even think about not entering, because we know people, you know? Yeah, you fucking know over here. Anyway, 43 is a number. 43 brilliant entries. 43 perfect flowers. Which one do you pick, right? 43 perfect pieces of dark chocolate, but grab one. Yeah, how do you pick? So, we got there, but I wanted to just, before we go into the winner, I wanted to just kind of go through some of these with you all, because this is from Chris Sadhill, Chris Sadhill, and this was, this is really good, Sadhill. This is, yeah. I love his choice of words here too. I mean, next to the rest of your neighborly cosmic glow-tards, and if that's the case, you might as well pull up a lawn chair. Just read this. I'm going to link this whole challenge as usual in the description, but yeah, this is really good. Man, Mijong, such a beautiful, beautiful heart in this writer. I literally devour everything she writes, and this is no exception. No exception. Yeah. Mavia. This was right up there with everyone else. Unknown, unknowable. I traced you at the scene of my arrest, the hard and desist, carved, a shade so deep I lost myself in the tunnel, left, lying in the shadow of your silhouette. Just beautiful. Just, oh, it's beautiful. So many of these. This is Elise Potato, and I'll tell you, this is, I love this. I love this. I read this 3 or 4 times back to back, and I liked what Mariah said here. You summed it up beautifully with that last line. And my everything is a part of me that takes wing, lets me fly. Yeah, that's really good. And Dr. Semicolon, get to him in a second. This is airy and childlike wonder. Yeah, Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything that doesn't evoke wonder is just something. Yeah, he's right. Beatrice Gomes. Another good one. Good. I'm trying to find Lead Levy. Holy shit, I love this. I love this piece. You guys just need to click on this challenge and read all these entries. And Sushi Trash. Always, always something just great. And I had a lot of, okay, right here. Now, this didn't win, but this to me deserves an entire separate narration, which I don't have time to do today. And Shallow Gene Pool, the first thing I read from this writer was so fucking funny. I couldn't even keep my head on straight. And I have to repost that because I lost that footage. But it was so funny and so honest and tragic, right? But funny, the mind on this writer. And so this was another beautiful expose on this. I would imagine the reality of this writer's life, and it's so well done and so well placed and so well purposed that I would like to have a whole day just to narrate this entire body of work. So Shallow Gene Pool, I hope people read this when they go to the challenge, if they go to it. Thank you for this. It really touched my heart, mate. So we have to, when it came time to pick a winner in this challenge, to pick the winner, it was, well, it was this one. It wasn't hard to pick, I don't think, for the panel. I read this, and Pen by Newt Hampson. Well, I'm not going to get into all that. Let's just get to this piece. I read this, and I just sat here aghast at how much I loved this entry. I don't even want to call it a poem. It's a piece. It stands alone. It's a fucking island. So, one moment. Okay, Dr. Semicolons, Pan flu woos me, panic betroths me, terror consummates me. What can't be seen is everything else. A panoply of universe connected to me. A blind panorama I enter, imperceptive of that everything, and those everythings who that await me. Nocturnal footsteps are mine, by the grace of lunar guidance, shafting through canopy, in staccato flashes, syncopating with twig snaps and panicky creatures scurrying underfoot, like me. Mine, not the only steps, must move forward so I can't put my back toward it. My soft side, exposed for punches to come, into the unknown smells and sounds and fears. A chilled, shard-filled ambience hangs horizontal, posing right-angle triggers, with Damocles poised, smiling to shred my quest, before passing unmolested, unharmed, and, breathing still, a pan flute calls the vectors forward me. I raise each step to purchase tentative footway, and listen to each unconfirmed movement, mine or otherwise caprine. A metered journey, carefully slow and terrifying. So alone, but alone not. A horned shadow mirrors each displacement of gravelly footballs that announce my tentative march toward the unknown entity who receives me expectantly and angrily. Can vengeance come before I did what I do to provoke it? Can effect precede cause and conclude before arrival? Am I walking into a predetermination of peril out of any rational order? The pan flute sounds as the music of panic weaves fugued with the sounds unseen but heard but unrecognized. My center of gravity is fluid, unanchored. I'm in tesseract territory. None of it really here or friendly. There is an everything that threatens, in the dark and dank and unseen. Yes, seeing navigates the world, but dark's hearing invites what's to come from a world unseen and flows every when toward me. Everything and everyone call to me from their horrific singularity on a number of lines eddy currents. where both sides of zero cancel but don't forgive. Here to there is preposterous, yet there to here is what is the coming for me. You cannot be bulwark to everything. You can only join the cacophony and mayhem to teach those who follow that every conquers any, and each of us are any who must yield to the every until we forget, careless, and thus perish. Turn around. Put your back to it. You cannot, will not see it happening, everything all at once, unfathomed in panic, and Lovecraftian dreads. Pull the covers over your head. Brace your soft side against terra firma, and suffer what onslaughts come by wedding the unknown, and making your conjugal bed on the down of uncertainty. Nice. Yeah, and his recap of this is pretty much, this is awesome. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but you should if you decide to read this over, and you should decide to read this over. Elise Potato, this is amazing. Thanks, that's high praise. Yeah, Mariah, deep and imaginative, or several rereads. Yeah. Sad Hill, goddamn, and I second the several read. Absolutely. Large, I love Large. This is such a cool profile. Written with gusto. I was reminded of something by William S. Burroughs. Nice. Yeah, I remember that. Dr. Semicolon, thanks at large, Chris Sadhill. Well, Dr. Semicolon, a.k.a. Gerard DeLeo, thank you for this entry. It was something else. And that's going to wrap today. Thank you for being here, and if you're on theprose.com, writing or reading, thank you for being there too. And before I go, to Dr. Semicolon, a big congratulations on that beautifully written piece. Well earned and well done. Just beautiful. So, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you again for being here, and I will talk to you in the next video. Take good care.